In today's CPG landscape, growth hinges on something deceptively simple: how well your product shows up, not just on the shelf, but everywhere a shopper might search, scan, compare, or buy. And as AI reshapes how decisions are made from discovery to purchase, the brands that win are the ones building a product foundation strong enough to anchor them, yet agile enough to respond to shifting markets, new requirements, and rising shopper expectations. This is where product experience management earns its name. It's the discipline of showing up accurately, consistently, and contextually wherever your shoppers are. When your product data is complete and connected, the noise falls away. Teams shift from rework to refinement, from is it correct to is it compelling. And that clarity is what's fueling the shift across the CPG industry, pushing teams past scattered content and siloed systems toward a comprehensive end-to-end solution that makes the work of managing product experiences easy. Top CPG brands, including Dole, Chomps, and Unilever, as well as 90% of leading U.S. retailers, partner with Syndigo to deliver accurate, engaging, and compliant content across every channel on the world's largest product experience network. From data syndication, rich content, ratings and reviews, to PIM, MDM, and agentic commerce, see what Syndigo unlocks for you at syndigo.com/CPG. Again, that's syndigo.com/CPG. Hello, it's January 27th, 2026. Welcome to this week's episode of the Commerce Riff with the CPG Guys, our weekly short segment, bite-sized 10 minutes of content, both audio and video. We hope you enjoy our curated stories. I'm your co-host, PVSB. I'm joined by Papa Raz, the father of pop stars, co-founder and CRO of Think Blue Consulting, the man known as Shri. What's up, Shri?
How's it going, Peter? What a great year we've had so far. We were at CES, NRF, and a very successful visit to FMI Midwinter down in San Diego. Met so many colleagues and friends in the industry. Think Blue presented to several boards and committees. We had a lot going on as a CPG Guys. E-tail is next. CAGNY follows right after. We got a lot going on, Peter, and don't forget SOCOM in between. So let's jump into this week's key industry news.
Absolutely, Shri. Target announced former Chief Innovation Officer at Nike, John Hoke, will join the board of directors in March per a Thursday press release. The Nike veteran, who last year announced his retirement from the athletics company, will serve on Target's Governance and Sustainability Committee, as well as the Compensation and Human Capital Management Committee. Former CEO of Hanes Brands, Steve Bratspies, will also join Target's board starting in April, serving on the Audit and Risk, as well as the Infrastructure and Finance Committees. Hoke and Bratspies earn an annual compensation Target provides to all non-employee directors. The company's 2025 proxy statement outlines non-employee directors can receive a mix of cash and restricted stock units, or just stock units. Target's COO, Michael Fidelki, will become CEO next month, and the retailer's new board member plays into his broader turnaround efforts. Hoke and Bratspies' appointments reflect Target's focus on delivering style, design, and value through product and experiences grounded in deep understanding of the consumers, per the company's press release. Fidelki has set out to reinvigorate Target's merchandising authority following a period of slumping sales, to say the least, store traffic, and consumer backlash. Quote, these appointments underscore the board's continued commitment to strong governance and long-term value creation for shareholders. Christine Leahy, lead independent director of Target's board of directors, said in a statement, John and Steve bring extensive experience that aligns closely with the board's priorities as we oversee Target's strategy. Welcome Michael Fidelki as CEO and guide the company into its next chapter of growth. Hoke brings a plethora of design experience from Nike, where he worked for about 30 years. He served as the athletic brand's first chief design officer before taking on the CIO position. When his departure was announced in 2025, Nike CEO Elliott Hill remarked on how Hoke work helped to establish Nike's designs. Shri, over to you.
Well, the Winn-Dixie Company has unveiled its blow-up in Florida. Grocers better watch out. We've been around a minute, 100 years to be exact, starts a video unveiling the company's new look. Yeah, we've had some ups and downs, but now we're in charge of our own destiny, so it's time for a glow-up. While the company could have kept its announcement future-focused, it decided to own up to some of its rocky history to show it's focused on stability going forward. Southwestern Grocers, as the company was known until this month, emerged from bankruptcy in 2018. and said it would go public at the start of 2021, but pulled the plug on its own IPO plans before the year ended. Following its divestiture of stores outside Florida, Eastern grocers termed the Winn-Dixie Company wants shoppers to know that its destiny is in good hands as it focuses on jazzing up its presence in the Sunshine State. Its new visual identity has a cleaned-up logo, a refreshed color palette with veggie-inspired colors. How about that? New fonts, and a marketing tone that's a little sweet, a little sassy, and 100% real according to the video. Meanwhile, the shopping experience is getting upgrades such as a fresher produce, better meat cuts, and updated stores. While makeovers are never a guarantee for success, we still just remember the cringy, like a lot jingle that Save a Lot unveiled in 2021. This rebranding could be exactly what Winn-Dixie needs to stand out amid the ultra-competitive Florida grocery market, which includes fan-favorite Publix, rapidly expanding discounter Aldi, and Kroger in some ways through dark warehouse stores. Peter, over to you.
Yeah, introducing a new logo to try and compete against the customer experience at Publix or the value at Aldi. We'll see how that plays out a bit, Sri, shall we? Meanwhile, the Chicago Sun-Times reports that Amazon has received final approval from the Village Board of Orland Park, Illinois, to build what it refers to as the first of its kind 230,000 square foot big box store, built on a 35-acre plot of land that it says will offer shoppers general merchandise, household items, and groceries. An Amazon Prime membership won't be required to shop there, and it will offer pickup areas and online order integration. There will also be about 800 parking spaces. Amazon doesn't yet have a name for its retail concept, but said in a statement that it expects to open in late 2027 at the earliest. The information also has an interview with Jassy in which he said, quote, that many AI-powered shopping tools, the experience hasn't been great yet because they get product information or pricing wrong. But he said that he expects that to improve over time, though any partnerships will require the right value exchange between agents and retailers. In recent months, OpenAI and Google have been making a push into chatbot shopping as well as new product ads, putting them on Amazon's retail turf. When it comes to advertising, Jassy said that Amazon's advantage is in keeping ads relevant for shoppers based on their behavior, something he said is not simple to do. In addition, Jassy said, I think that we're excited about agentic commerce. I think that it has a chance to make it easier for customers to find what they want. If you know what you want, it's pretty hard to find a better experience than popping onto Amazon, searching and finding it. But the one place still where physical retail has some advantages, in my opinion, is the ability to go in, not know what you want, ask questions, refine those questions, have somebody point you to different things. And I think agents are going to help customers with that type of discovery. And it's part of why we're investing so much in Rufus, which is our shopping assistant, which has really gotten quite good. And I think that over time that we will work with other third-party agents as well. I think today the experience has been great. You know, I think that a lot of these third-party agents, they don't have your buying history. They don't have what you like. A lot of the information around pricing and the product is off. But over time, I do believe that will get better. I also think there needs to be the right value exchange between the agents and between the retailers themselves. But I'm optimistic that those will work out. We're having some conversations. Lots of people, and I'm very bullish on the commerce. So says Andy Jassy. That's a mouthful. Go ahead, Sri.
Yeah, Peter, to me, opening of a physical general merchandising store is a long game for Amazon. Fast forward 20 years. God knows what this will look like compared to Walmart. I mean, they may become the world's largest retailer many times over. So
the big challenge, Sri, has been, Amazon Fresh has really not been the promise that it was made out to be. Yeah, we'll see if they can get GM a little bit better than they've been getting grocery.
I certainly will look forward to whenever that store opens. I mean, and he says it's early 2027 at the earliest. So anyway, just held outside San Diego and Chula Vista at the Gaylord Pacific Resort, the 2026 FMI Midwinter Executive Conference, January 21 to 24, focus heavily on the collision of artificial intelligence with consumer health and economic volatility. A summary of a few of the quick themes and takeaways from the event. The rise of the agentic consumer. Dominant theme was the shift from consumers browsing for themselves using AI agents to shop on their behalf. Sessions explored how algorithmic gatekeepers or AI twins are beginning to curate purchases, meaning brands may soon need to market to algorithms rather than just humans. Discussions moved beyond basic automation to predictive retail, where computer vision and AI digitize the entire store environment to manage labor and inventory in real time. Of course, there was the FMI Tech Pitch Competition. This year's Innovation Spotlight features startups like Better Basket, Genuine, and Swish brand experiences, focusing on bridging the gap between digital strategy and physical store operations. The post-GLP-1 pantry and metabolic health area, the industry is preparing for structural shifts in food consumption driven by health trends, particularly the widespread use of weight loss medications, GLP-1, and agonists. Experts discuss metabolic health becoming a distinct grocery category similar to how plant-based evolved. That's crazy, Peter. This includes foods supporting gut metabolism and circadian rhythm, not just weight loss. Retailers are analyzing how weekly appetite cycles and rapid body changes among GLP-1 users are altering demand for apparel, beauty, specific food categories. A lot of conversation about economic volatility in the K-shaped economy. Nielsen IQ, in fact, presented about the K-shaped curve. Executives addressed the widening gap between different consumer segments and polarized spending. The K-shaped economy remains a challenge, with higher income shoppers driving growth in premium, organic formats, while price-sensitive households stick strictly to essentials. Then there was a lot of talk on supply chain resilience, discussions around the need for data discipline to manage price volatility and supply chain shocks, moving from reactive firefighting to proactive AI-governed execution. Reinventing loyalty was the last one. The traditional points for purchase model is being challenged by closed ecosystem, then walled gardens. Retailers increasingly building walled gardens similar to Costco, Amazon Prime, where Amazon has pretty much walled itself against AI bots coming in and searching its data, where data, health partnerships, and retail media networks lock customers into a specific ecosystem. And then from CRM to relevance, there's a push to move loyalty programs beyond generic rewards towards hyper-personalized engagement driven by real-time data. Over to you, Peter.
As we wrap up, a reminder to catch up with our recently released episode featuring Shabani, Chief Customer Officer John Frost, and Syndigo CEO Simon Angove. All right, folks, that's our take on relevant commerce happenings from so many announcements this past week we thought were meaningful and could not pass on for a riff. We hope you enjoyed it. Please do click like our posts, all our platforms, and follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and now YouTube, of course. Make sure you're on LinkedIn looking at all the pictures from FMI. We snapshots with a lot of our favorite people, and you might even see a familiar face on one of my polo shirts. So in any event, we'll see you next week, everybody. The content in this podcast episode is provided for general informational purposes only. By listening to our episode, you understand that no information contained in this episode should be construed as advice from CPG Guys LLC or the individual author, hosts, or guests, nor is it intended to be a substitute for research on any subject matter. Reference to any specific product or entity does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by CPG Guys LLC. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. The views expressed by CPG Guys LLC do not represent the views of their employers or the entity they represent. CPG Guys LLC expressly disclaims any and all liability or responsibility for any direct, indirect, incidental, special, consequential, or other damages arising out of any individual's use of, reference to, or inability to use this podcast or the information we present in this podcast.